Great, thanks, panel. That was excellent. There were a lot more cards than we could get to. We're going to try and distribute those to the next couple of panels to the extent that the questions you had apply to topic areas they're covering. Next thing that we want to do is we want to have the first of 3 lightning talks that we've arranged. So just 5-minute brief discussions on a particular area. The first one is going to be delivered by Mike Langford. And Mike was elected president of the Utilities Workers Union of America in 2006 and reelected in both 2011 and 2015. Under his leadership, the UWA has committed to represent the interests of both the public and its workers to bring about national reform to deliver safe, reliable, cost-effective, and environmentally friendly utility services across the country. So, Mike, come on up. We look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Well, good afternoon, all. You know, listening to that panel was pretty interesting, but to be honest with you, I'd like to answer the question, where do we start? I start by saying let's re-regulate, because this industry is too vulnerable to be left up for chance, that some things under national security, it needs to be regulated. Folks, this is our lifeline. Energy is the engine of our economy, and we're leaving it up for chance. It blows me away. It's a little amazing, but hey, I guess there's smarter people than me that think that that competitive market makes sense. But how many of you in this room spend $150 to $200 a month for 1,000 TV channels you may watch 3 or 4 of? But don't you pay me another $1 to pay safe energy, electric, and water. No, that's too much to ask for. But anyway, I only got 5 minutes, and I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about here. Just a little bit about the utility workers. The women and men, the professional women and men that make up the Utility Workers Union are the safest, most productive, highest skilled workers in the world. I'm proud to represent these folks because they put their lives on the line every single day. No matter if it's man-made disasters or natural disasters, they're the first responders out there, restoring and rebuilding. But they're also the same people that operate and maintain these nuclear power plants safely in our country. Utility workers and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers represent pretty much all the nuclear plants throughout the country. And folks, these are highly skilled professional people. And these are good paying jobs. These aren't your Walmart greeters of the world. These are folks that are making a living, that can buy homes, that can buy cars, that can pay their taxes. Wow, what a novel concept, huh? If you really think about it. I mean, these are good life-sustaining jobs. You know, and these are the same folks that lives in the communities that they work. And these power plants are the engines of the economy for those communities. Let's think about what a typical nuclear plant, about 1,000, let's say 1,000 megawatt nuclear plant, it generates probably around $450 million worth of income for that community. The workers, about $40 million in payroll. That's pretty substantial if you think about it for a community. And probably a lot of people in this room live in communities where nuclear plants are. They're in 30 states, so that only leaves 20 of them where they're not. So I'd say it impacts your state. Chances are every one of you in here, some way, some fashion, that nuclear plant is impacting you. Let me give you some facts and figures here, so please bear with me just a second. The nuclear industry plays an important role in job creation and economic growth, providing both near-term and lasting employment and economic benefits. The 99 nuclear reactors in the U.S. generate substantial domestic economic value in electric sales, $40 to $50 billion a year. Think about that, $40 to $50 billion, with over 100,000 workers contributing to that production. But let me tell you something. About 39 to 40% of those workers are eligible to retire this year, year 2016. That's a wealth of knowledge that is walking out the door. And folks, we have to have succession planning. We have to have, these aren't jobs that you just walk in off the street. It takes years to become proficient at these jobs. These are good paying jobs. And you ask yourself, you know, what kind of jobs are they and who works in here? Nuclear facilities employ a myriad of disciplines. Highly trained and licensed employees operate reactors and supported by engineers of various types, health physics, instrumentation control workers, and other professionals, as well as skilled craftspeople such as welders and machinists. Each year, the average nuclear plant, again, a 1,000-megawatt plant, generates about $470 million in economic output. And again, that includes $40 million in total labor income. Operation of nuclear plants generate between 400 and 700 employees, permanent jobs. These jobs pay about 36% more than the average salaries in the local areas. The permanent jobs at a nuclear plant create an equivalent number of additional jobs to provide goods and services necessary to support the plant. Construction jobs of new nuclear power plants create up to about 3,500 jobs during the peak construction. So you can see the building trades, the in-house workers. These are life-supporting jobs, folks. You can ask yourself, how does this impact communities? Well, it impacts communities not only by an economic boost, but nuclear power plants often are located in rural communities. That benefits considerably from a large industrial complex where these types of jobs just aren't there. It's usually in areas where this is the best thing going within a 100-mile radius. Companies that operate nuclear energy facilities are also involved in the life of nearby towns and communities, offering college scholarships for related professions, participating in charities and sponsoring other activities. Energy education centers at many facilities teach school children about nuclear energy as well as about other forms of electric generation. Their presence encourages continuity in their communities by offering employment over more than one generation of families and workers. Nuclear energy facilities enhance the habitat around the plants. I started out my career in a nuclear plant in Fermi just south of Detroit, Michigan. And in that particular plant, they have more than 600 acres as part of a Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge. And then on that, there are mink, beavers, herons, deer, and bald eagles. So you see, it really becomes a big part of the ecosystem, which helps protect wildlife. Think about new nuclear plant construction, what that would do for the economy of this country. Nuclear power plants provide substantial economic benefits during their decades of operation. The jobs, taxes, and direct secondary impacts strengthen the economies of the communities with nuclear plants and will give a similar boost to any community hosting a new plant. A new nuclear plant represents an investment of $6 to $8 billion, depending on the plant size. Building a new plant creates demand for skilled labor in a wide range of fields, including pipe fitters, masons, carpenters, millwrights, sheet metal workers, electricians, iron workers, heavy equipment operators, insulators, engineers, project managers, and construction supervisors. Think about that, folks. It's a lot of good paying jobs. And what do we need in this country today? But people making a life-living job which they can buy homes and cars and pay their taxes, right? Construction of new nuclear power plants require up to 3,500 workers at peak. Construction of new nuclear power plants will provide a substantial boost to suppliers, commodities like concrete and steel. Think about this. 400,000 cubic yards of concrete, as much concrete as was used to build a Pentagon. 66,000 tons of steel, the same amount used to build the Empire State Building. 44 miles of piping, 300 miles of electric wiring, enough to stretch from Boston to Philly. 130,000 electrical components. Folks, it takes a lot to build these plants, but again, they're carbon-free. And what are we talking about all the time about climate change? Am I running out of time? All right, I'm getting a hook here. Let me just close by saying that, it was my role here today to talk about the communities and the impacts on workers. Believe me that there's no better jobs than there are in the utility industry in this country. They can't be offshored. These are jobs that are life-sustaining jobs, and let's support it. I agree with the panel members. There's a system that's rigged out there that is not working. They may not have said that, but I'm telling you that we have to have a level playing field for all to compete. And I think this is an industry that needs to be re-regulated. I got an hour's worth of more stuff to tell you, but I'm getting the hook, so see you later. Thank you.